My thesis is about the comparison of two songs belonging to two different musical categories, with the intention of finding out which song can be translated in a singable way. The first, Another Brick in the Wall Part 2, from the album The Wall by Pink Floyd, and the second, Son of Man, from the 1999 animated movie Tarzan, sung by Phil Collins. As Gollum defines, music translation can be called MLT by its acronym, which stands for Music Link Translation. MLT belongs among specialized translations because of the need to catch a particular aspect of text analysis. Peter Lowe presents an approach to sound translation that he calls the pentathlon principle, based on exactly 5 criteria: singability, sense, naturalness, rhythm, and rhyme. Singability aims to ensure that the sense of a text is faithfully reproduced in a foreign translation, trying as much as possible to respect the song in order to be sung for its elegance. The singability of a song is directly proportional to its effectiveness on stage, that is, it must be performable by a singer. In the beginning, it is important to analyze the source text and understand its destination. In our case, our destination is a CD insert. From here, the translation process begins. It must then be chosen whether to respect any rhymes, assonances, and consonances. However, in our situation, it is necessary for those rhetorical figures to have adapted in the target language, in our case Italian. Those strictly belong to the British culture of the 1950s, whereby their school education system suffered from a lack of consideration for the children who were mocked and ridiculed by their own teachers. Free verse therefore represents the most immediate translation choice, since it does not dictate patterns, and the translator confirms his thesis that the scopus of his translation is not respect for form, but respect for content. The role of the translator is to be invisible to the listener of the song. He has to compose a metatext that has to be valid for the target audience, considering, however, that this will surely be different from the original audience, because of a different culture that defines different ways to comprehend words. To overcome English typical repetitions, the solution proposed is to slightly diversify the first 3 verses of the song, which instead many versions tend to keep, for fear of affecting the meaning of the song. In Italian, this way of translation, I believe, is not only necessary, but also more comprehensive. The song Son of Man, in addition to the rhymes, features a remarkable movie lyrical adaptation, not randomly one of the most famous in Disney history. It is important to be able to transport into language the various concepts that are expressed in a song. Note how each concept is coherently adapted, even taking into account the formal elegance mentioned earlier. Once the songs with their respective Italian translations have been compared, a number of considerations can be taken. In the first place, not all musical excerpts have the possibility to be translated for a concrete song or a singable application, given the high importance that music has in relation to the text and the constraints that it imposes on the translator. Another brick in the wall represents only one of the very many examples of inaccessibility in formulating an effective translation and then making it music. On the other hand, the song Son of Man was born just for this application. If Phil Collins, along with the work itself, that is, the entire animated movie Tarzan, succeeds in reaching a wider audience, he precisely owes it to the winning idea of having tried his hand at interpreting the song in several languages: English, Italian, Spanish, French, and German, succeeding admirably in the task.